Ready, I'm ready.
So on the rubric sheet for this speaking assignment, it actually said that choosing the topic was going to be the most challenging part, and that rubric was pretty much right. I sat here at my desk looking for a policy that I felt would relate to all of us and could still be of relevance to us as college students. And I sat there like kind of just staring at things, constantly researching. Nothing really clicked with me until I came across the concept of a non-compete policy and how it differs from the state of California and the rest of the country. So that's what my research has led me here today to inform you all on what exactly a non-compete is and to bring awareness into this subject and to find a call of action for us. So what exactly is a non-compete? A non-compete clause is usually a contract between an employer and an employee which restricts what the employee can do after the employee were to, if the employee were to leave the company. So this usually follows the lines of something like preventing the employee from working for a similar company within a certain mile radius of the original company. It could also prevent the employee from working in the industry as a whole for a period of up to 5 years or so. And it also stops the employee from starting his or her own business. So, of course, this matters to us because in a couple of years, we're going to be graduating college, we're going to be heading into the workforce, and depending on where our paths take us, we might have to deal with an employer looking to make us sign a non-compete. So, this doesn't seem very fair, right? Let me just lay out an example as to what I'm talking about. Let's say Jonathan over there, he's a hotshot engineer, and he works for me. In the very beginning, I made him sign a non-compete clause, and he's happy with it. I'm paying him well, he's getting treated well at the company, but let's say my company isn't doing so well. I have to give Jonathan a pay cut. This just isn't working for him. He has a family to support. So he starts looking for another job, hopefully one that can help him support his family. And Addison over there, she can actually give Jonathan the payment of a salary higher than his original salary. The problem is my non-compete that I made him sign makes it so Jonathan, even if he were to want to work for Addison, would not be able to because that'd be him leaving me going to it directly to one of my competitors. So that doesn't seem very fair. And what the thing is, companies with who do enforce non-compete, they come prepared for all the arguments against them. And from what I can tell, they usually go with about two main claims. One being they're claiming to protect their trade secrets, and another being they're fostering a mutually beneficial relationship with the employee. So these arguments, actually, they make sense up to a certain point. What company would not want to protect their trade secrets and intellectual properties? The problem is just how broadly the term trade secret can be taken. So a journal by the Business Studies Quarterly explains how trade secrets reaches beyond things just like formulas, techniques, and processes. The trade secrets can also include things like business plans, concepts, and strategies. And what this means is that if I were to question the validity of a non-compete clause that my employer is trying to make me sign, they could cite something like, we don't want to compete in business to know how we make our sandwiches as a valid reason. And that's not a joke, because in an NPR interview with Evan Starr, who was a professor from the University of Maryland, he actually sheds light on how Jimmy John's, a sandwich company, made all of his workers sign a non-compete clause saying they would not work for any other sandwich companies within 3 miles of any Jimmy John's restaurant. And that's pretty crazy because these workers who basically just put together sandwiches, they're saying that their ability to put tomatoes and meat on a piece of bread is a trade secret of a sandwich company, even though, let's just be real, all sandwich companies do the exact same thing. And the second pro, which I guess you could say that a non-compete clause has, is the relationship between the employee and the employer. An article written by Randall S. Thomas, a professor from Vanderbilt University, suggests that non-competes incentivize companies to invest more into their employees with more advanced training and skills. This makes sense because the employee is essentially stuck with the company, and that gives them more reason to grow the employee as a whole. And another article published by the Institute of Operations Research and Management Sciences backs up this claim, saying that non-competes actually stimulate more growth so long as the companies decide to develop their assets, which in this case are the human resources, their employees. And Yes, this is true up to a certain extent. Certain employees, the ones who are highly valued in the chain and the ones who have the potential to become promoted, will definitely be able to benefit. But many companies, they just do not value their employees the same way. There's a lot of minimum paid workers and just middle workers who are viewed as disposable once they have that non-compete. So now I have to make sure that those of us in this room are at least aware of all of the cons and costs that also come with the non-compete. Because when we go into the workforce, we have to be aware of what we're actually signing. And the pros that a lot of companies cite when they're saying it's okay to sign a non-compete just serve to divert the attention from all the downsides. And even in the initial stages, but even in the initial stages, non-competes make it difficult to get a job. Professor Cynthia Estlund has broadly stated that most contract terms are offered by employers on a take-it-or-leave-it basis. They are set under the shadow of employment at will and the employer's presumptive power to fire employees for any reason at all. So what that means is that if you were to be given that job, if you were to be offered the job and you don't sign that non-compete, the company has the opportunity to just revoke the offer. And what company would want to hire you who wouldn't sign a non-compete over someone who is willing to sign themselves away and say they're never going to leave? Now, in the same NPR interview, Starr tells us that 60% of workers say that they were scared. They were scared of losing their job once they were told to sign a non-compete. And while certain employees, like CEOs, they have the capital to hire lawyers and negotiate on their terms, but many workers just don't have that ability. So when they're given the offer, they feel the need that they have to sign it or else they're just not going to get the job at all. Now, another issue with this is the brain drain that comes from non-compete. So brain drain refers to the migration of skilled or knowledgeable workers. And in a study by Matt Marks, he looked specifically at the state of Michigan. Michigan does not enforces non-compete, which means companies are allowed to make you sign a non-compete. And Matt Marks found that non-compete clauses actually promote the migration of workers into other states which don't support non-competes, such as California. And that also provides reason for why Silicon Valley is one of the entrepreneurial hubs it is today, because California makes it so anybody can go anywhere and companies can't force you to stay with them. So in summary, all that I'm asking is that us in this class are more aware of the ramifications that come with a non-compete clause. While it may not be affecting us directly yet, in a few years down the line, this is what we're going to be dealing with. Melinda Pilling, the Deputy Attorney General at the California Department of Justice, tells us to seek legal action if we ever find ourselves on the wrong end of a non-compete clause. It's up to us as the future employees to take action for ourselves, and that's why I'm telling you, when the time comes, remember to be aware of what a non-compete really means and take action if necessary.